Today, we are going to show you how to initiate, edit, and submit an equipment purchase report in the Department of Ecology Grant and Loan Management System, EAGL IGX. To initiate an equipment purchase report, or EPR, the parent document must be an agreement executed, agreement active, or any amendment-related status. You must be the role of recipient project manager or authorized official to initiate an EPR. To edit the EPR, your role must be authorized official, recipient project manager, or writer. There is no restriction on the number of equipment purchase reports that may be associated with a parent document. We're beginning the video on the dashboard landing page, but if you need any more information about how to log in to EAGL IGX, visit the Ecology webpage for instructions on how to log in and register. First, we will need to search for the agreement to be able to initiate the EPR. To do that, we'll go to our top navigation bar here to select Searches, and from this drop-down menu, select Applications. Remember that your last search will remain, so it is best to select Clear before using the filters. You can also choose not to enter any information in these filters, and when you select the Search button, all the agreements that you are assigned to will be returned in these search results. Because I want to narrow down these results here, I'll enter in a part of my application's document name and hit Search. Once I have found that particular application, I'll select the document title to be taken to the document landing page. Now that I'm in the document landing page, I want to confirm that my application is in one of those valid statuses to initiate an EPR. In this case, it is because it is in the agreement active status. I will also want to make sure that I'm in the correct role on this application. I'm an authorized official, so I am the correct role to be able to initiate an equipment purchase report. There are two ways to initiate an equipment purchase report. The first way can be done from inside this document, where I can go to this left navigation menu and scroll down. When I get to the bottom, I should see a related documents section for these options. One of those buttons will be Initiate Related Document. I'll be able to select that button. I will then be able to select which parent document I want to associate this new equipment purchase report with. In this case, it will be my main parent document. And from the list of available sub-documents that I can create, I can choose this version of the equipment purchase report. If I hit Create, I would then initiate that new equipment purchase report. But I want to show another way of initiating that EPR. I'll first want to copy my document name, just so I have that information available. And I'm going to click Home to go back to my dashboard. From my dashboard, the first panel I can see as an authorized official is the My Tasks panel. And in the upper right corner of that panel is the button to initiate related documents. I can select that button. While I do have a list of available parent documents now to choose from, I can go ahead and paste in that document name that I just copied over. That will then narrow down the sub-documents available for me to initiate. I'll choose that equipment purchase report and then select Create. Once I've selected that button, this pop-up will give me information about the equipment purchase report that I'm going to create. Once I've reviewed all that information, I can hit Proceed to confirm that EPR's creation. Once that's been done, I'll be taken to the document landing page for that EPR. Now that I'm in my newly created EPR, let's review this landing page and then our options in the left navigation menu. On this landing page, I can see that my EPR is currently in the Equipment Purchase Report in Process status. I can see information about this EPR, including the specific instance that it's tied to, its unique name, my role on the EPR, the period begin and end dates, as well as the initiating organization. If I ever need to see that information at a glance, I can hover over the EPR's document title in the upper left corner. Selecting that title will also bring me back to this landing page. On my left navigation menu, I begin with the Equipment Purchase Report Forms section. This is where I have the equipment purchase report to fill out and to confirm. Beneath that, I have the document tools, which include a link back to the landing page, the option to add, edit people, the status history of this EPR, the attachment repository where I can review all of the files that have been uploaded to this document, a modification summary, which will show various changes that have been made to this EPR over time, document validation, print document, and document messages. Beneath those tools, there is status options, where I can change the status of this EPR to Equipment Purchase Report Submitted or Equipment Purchase Report Canceled. Scrolling down, in the Related Documents section, I can see other sub-documents that have been originated from the parent document, as well as a link back to the application parent document itself. I'll go back up and select Equipment Purchase Report to go into our form. When I first load the form, in the upper right corner, it will show me the list of error checks that I need to resolve before I can submit this EPR to the next status. What I will do now is go through this equipment purchase report, entering all the information in that I need so that I can then change the status to submitted. Going down the form, I first see the instructions here at the top that tell me how to fill out this form, define some information that I may need to know, and let me know that all required fields will be marked with a red asterisk. There is also a public disclosure notice letting me know how information will be used on this website, including information I enter on this form, as well as a link to the Public Records Act if I need more information. Continuing to scroll down, it lets me know that this is the fourth equipment purchase report that I've created for this application. The identifying number is a serial number, asset tag, or other unique item number. The equipment received date is the date that you took possession of the item. I'll hit save here to resolve these two error checks. I can see that in the upper right corner, two of those error checks have been resolved, and I no longer see any red outline over these fields. Continuing down the form, equipment description is a detailed description that identifies specific item characteristics such as make, model, color, and other distinguishing markings or features. Purchase price is the total cost to acquire an asset, including the purchase price, tax, shipping freight, and installation costs. With percentage paid by Ecology, if you have a match contribution requirement for your agreement, then only the Ecology share should be entered here. The name of the title holder is the name of the entity that holds legal ownership. The vendor name is the name of the company or store where the item was purchased. And the equipment location is the specific documented place where the equipment will be situated within the business or locations. Let's now hit save to resolve those error checks. With all of those resolved, I'll now continue down the form. There is an option here for upload documents. This is where I would be able to upload documents associated with the purchase, like rent, purchase analysis, inventory records, proof of receipt, like delivery confirmation, signed bill of sale, or photographs of the equipment once it is on site. Going further down, at the bottom of the page is the For Ecology Use Only section. This section is used by Ecology to identify the equipment disposition. This is the planned process for managing and deciding the final use or disposal of equipment after it has served its useful life. It will be completed during the closeout process. With all of our information entered, we can save this form one more time to make sure that we've been saving without any error checks. And there are now 2 ways to submit this form now that we have finished filling out all of this information. I can either go to my left side options here. Under status options, I would then be able to choose Equipment Purchase Report Submitted to change it to that status. Or at the bottom of my form, there is a button for Save and Submit. Selecting that will then give me the option to submit my form. Once I hit OK, it will take me back to the EPR's document landing page, and the document status will confirm that this has now been changed to Equipment Purchase Report Submitted. If you have any questions, reach out to your Ecology Grant Manager found on the Ecology contact form.